Plastic surgery is usually meant to help you look younger, but there are cosmetic procedures being performed today that are supposed to make you look younger, but actually can make you look older. I'm going to count down 5 of these worst cosmetic procedures in this video today. Chrissy Teigen started a huge trend on social media when she revealed that she underwent buccal fat removal. And this is a small operation where a little chunk of fat, about the size of a gumball, is removed from each cheek. This can cause the cheek to contour in, kind of making you look like you're sucking on a lemon, like this. Well, if you have a rounder looking face, then this procedure can help that face to look a bit more chiseled, a bit more contoured, and what some people are looking for. But the problem is that this procedure is also being recommended by doctors all around the country for people who have faces that are thin or long faces, kind of like mine. In those situations, this surgery can make the face look overly thin and overly gaunt and even, yes, looking older. So if you're considering buccal fat removal surgery, make sure that you have a face more like Chrissy Teigen's and less like mine. If your face is rounder or more bottom heavy, then doing a buccal fat removal can be very helpful. But if you've got a thinner face, it can make you look almost skeletal. The vast majority of cosmetic treatments that use advanced technology to tighten the skin basically create heat into the deeper skin to cause the collagen to tighten up. Now, lasers do this by using light energy to heat the skin. There are radiofrequency treatments like Thermage that do that by using these radiofrequency waves. And there are even treatments like Ultherapy that use ultrasound to create heat once again in that deeper skin. While heating the deeper skin can cause that skin to tighten up, if that heat gets to the superficial fat, that fat that lies just underneath the skin, it can actually damage that fat and cause the fat cells to die off. This is how treatments like sculpture actually work to reduce fat thickness. Well, I published one of the first papers many years ago that showed fat loss by Thermage treatments. And some of my patients way back then, they would undergo a Thermage treatment, and that Thermage would not only tighten up their skin, but it would cause their face to look thinner afterwards. So supposedly those protocols have been changed a long time ago, and that isn't so much of an issue anymore, but I still have patients who undergo treatments with old style Thermage and even now Ultherapy that tell me that their face looks thinner after these procedures are done. So buyer beware, if you're going to get skin tightening treatments utilizing some type of a heat-based treatment like Thermage or Ultherapy, you may want to be careful with parts of the face like, let's say, the cheeks, in which you don't want to lose volume. Usually it's not a big issue with the neck. Most people don't mind getting rid of a little bit of fat there, but be very careful with the upper part of the face. In plastic surgery, a little bit of filler can be a good thing, but a lot of filler can be a bad thing. Now, back in 2004, I was co-author of a paper called The Volumetric Facelift. And this was one of the first articles that explained facial aging in a 3-dimensional way, where the face not only droops as we get older, but it also loses volume. So in that paper, we described how adding fat into the cheeks can create a more 3-dimensional natural rejuvenation. So I used fat injections as the primary filler of the face for many years until the emergence of facial filler injections with hyaluronic acid, fillers like Juvederm Voluma and Restylane Lift. Now, if you add a little bit of filler into the cheeks, maybe into the nasolabial folds, which are these wrinkles, you can help the face to look softer and more volumized, and you can do it naturally. But when too much filler is added to the face, it can make the face look overfilled and even stiff looking. And we've all seen Hollywood celebrities that have shown this. So the key with filler is not necessarily to avoid it entirely, but to have a little bit of filler kind of spaced out. So the key with injecting filler to help you look younger and more youthful naturally is not necessarily to avoid it all, although if you want to do that, then that's obviously your prerogative, but to avoid having too much filler injected. A little bit of filler can go a long way. And if you're seeing somebody for the first time, maybe start with just a little bit of filler, get used to it, and then come back a month or two later for a little bit more if you want some more filler then. Now, I may be scaring you with all of these different ways that cosmetic treatments can make you look older. But did you know that you can look younger naturally using the process of autojuvenation? Well, autojuvenation is a term that I have coined to describe using your body's own natural regenerative mechanisms to turn back the clock. And that includes eating a certain type of diet and when to eat that diet. It includes supplements that you can take to help create healthy, youthful skin. It includes the right skincare products and non-invasive treatments that you can do in the comfort of your own home or at a doctor's office, all combined to help you look 10 years younger or more. I cover the whole process of autojuvenation in my new book, Younger for Life. Check it out at autojuvenation.com and check out all the free gifts I'll get you if you order my book. The link is in the caption below. Well, this is one of my favorite surgeries to perform because it's a relatively minor operation that can create major changes in a good way for so many people. Not only can upper blepharoplasty help to open up your eyes and help you look more refreshed and even younger looking, but it can also improve vision in some people as well. But the problem with this operation is when too much is done. Now, during this operation, we remove the excess skin from the upper eyelids and sometimes fat as well. And it's removing the excess fat where some doctors can really go wrong. Now, you may have seen Nancy Pelosi and have wondered, why do her eyes look like they've been done? Well, it's because she has very deep set upper eyelids. Now, this can occur naturally, but it can also occur after an operation like an upper blepharoplasty, where too much of the upper eyelid fat is removed. This can cause a hollowed out appearance of the upper eyelid and make a person actually look older. So if you're considering upper blepharoplasty surgery, talk with your doctor to make sure that the doctor is not being overzealous and removing too much of the fat of your upper eyelids, because whether you like Nancy or not politically, you probably don't want your eyelids to look like hers. Now, if you've followed me for a while, you probably know that I'm not a big fan of threadlifts. Threadlifts are minimally invasive operations where barbed sutures are used to elevate parts of the face. And one big reason why I don't like threadlifts is because they can be very expensive and the results only last maybe 6 to 12 months. Well, how threadlifts can make you look older is because all they do basically is tug at your skin.
Sam, it's time for you to grow up and accept responsibility. Your poor father would be appalled at your lack of promotion.
And one of the main signs of a bad facelift is a tugged or overlifted appearance, especially of the cheeks. And we've all seen people who are a bit older who've had some, let's say, overdone old-fashioned facelift work, and it looks like their cheeks are being swept upward. Well, this is the same appearance that some people get from a thread lift procedure. So although celebrities like Bella Hadid may have had a thread lift, she may not, I'm not her doctor, and look great afterwards, that's not the case with everybody. So in general, if you want to get a lifted appearance of your lower face or your neck or your cheeks, I'd recommend an actual facelift, not necessarily a thread lift. That way you know that those results are going to be quite permanent, and if your surgeon is conservative and uses good surgical technique, you're not going to look tight or pulled. Well, these are 5 treatments that can make you look older very quickly, but what about 5 treatments that can make you look younger immediately, like today, like in just 5 minutes? I have that video for you right up here. Check it out. And remember, eat real food, use clean skincare, and autojuvenate before you operate.